G'day guys, in this video we want to talk about how to save your relationship. The number one tool that we've used many times and we use with our clients to help people save their relationship. Because we find that, you know, when you're in that place where you're really struggling, it can be hard to see, you know, the light through the trees, to try and find a way out.
100%. And we have definitely been there multiple times.
We have.
It's something we've had to go through recently again, so it's really like alive on our hearts at the moment.
Yeah.
With the way the world's shifting at the moment, you need to be shifting in your relationship because there's so many uncertainties out there. There's so many stresses. You know, you are going to have to shift your relationship. So we are getting a lot of couples that we work with and messages from women and men saying, you know, they're struggling in their relationship. They can't get on the same page. They're, you know, doing all the things on the surface, but there's no deep connection. There's no intimacy. There's little conversation. There's no connection. It's really sad, you know. There's a lot of separation in the world at the moment, and we're experiencing it in our relationships as well. So basically, what you have to come to realize, we're going to, you know, stick around because we're going to share one really powerful, practical way to do this. So get your pen and paper, like, subscribe in case you have to pause it. You want to come back to this video because this is a life-changing tool for yourself and your relationship. We had to get really clear that nobody was coming to save us. So nobody's coming to save you and nobody's coming to save your relationship. When we were really struggling in our relationship, it was like, why? It seems like everybody else has their relationship all together.
All sorted.
Like they've all got their shit together. It's not true. They're just not talking about it. And that's what we're here to do. As a couple, we really want to revolutionize relationships and the way we talk about them. We want it to be more real, open, and just connected and relatable. So the number one thing you need to do, like we just said, is realize that you have to save your relationship. It's your responsibility. And so we both had to do that. And then the second part of that was to actually get clear on what we wanted. What we actually wanted to experience in our relationship. Like,
and then that's this tool that we use to do that. So
so ask yourself that question.
The first thing you need to ask yourself is, what do you want in a partner? Even if you're already in a relationship right now,
what do you want your relationship
to look like? Like, what are the key attributes that you want your partner to have? So do you need them to be truthful, authentic, loving, show unconditional love, put your family first or put you first, or, you know, all of those things. You just need to make a big long list of all the things
that's really important to you.
That's really important.
That is a must. Like, if your relationship doesn't have that, you're not going to be happy, because those things are your values, and our values are what make us happy. That's what we want to move towards. So get really clear on what you want. That's number one. And most of us have, it sounds so simple, most of us have never done it. Like, we hadn't done it. And now we do it regularly. We review our relationship. Like, people review their finances. They don't review their relationship. It's crazy. So we do this regularly. So that's the first step. So second step is to get clear on what you are not available for. What you absolutely you're not going to settle.
You can't tolerate it.
You are not going to tolerate that in the relationship.
So maybe that's lying. Maybe it's someone who's closed and won't communicate openly with you. Maybe it's someone who doesn't value family. You know, maybe they put their work first all the time.
Maybe it's someone who's like, they don't want to grow. You know, they're happy with mediocre.
Being how they are.
You know, if that's okay, if you're happy with it, but if you're not, and the other partner is someone who wants to grow, that can really drag your relationship down. That was an issue we had to work out in our relationship. One of us wanted to grow and the other one wasn't willing to do it. So that creates that gap. So get clear on that. What are you absolutely not available for in your relationship? Write that list. So that's number 2. Number 3, you then need to go through both those lists and ask yourself, what out of these lists, what am I being? Because in your relationship, you attract what you are. We get what we are in our relationships, not just what we want. So these are not wish lists. Like this, we're giving you a practical, real life tool. So you need to be radically honest with yourself, like brutally honest. You need to tell the truth and look through that list and tick off which ones you're actually doing and identify the ones you're not. And, you know, the first couple of times we did this, Adam was like, he had a rude awakening, basically.
Well, my list of all the things that I wanted in a partner, Aston was doing all of them. Aston's always been an incredible partner. She's always prioritised relationships, and hence why she's such a fantastic relationship coach. She's always put that at the top of her list. And so I ticked off all the things. Aston was already doing all the things that I wanted in a relationship, which was great. And then when I got to the third step and I had to write down all the things that who I needed to be in order to enjoy that relationship, there was a lot of things that I wasn't currently doing.
That you were expecting in me.
Yeah, not doing consistently. Yeah. You know, like for example, I'll grab my list and just give you a couple of examples. The third list, who do I need to become? First one, radically truthful. There's been times where I've not told the whole truth in order to try and protect Aston or the kids. So maybe not tell them the whole truth about what's going on with finances or an investment I've made. And thinking that I'm protecting the family, but I'm actually degrading the relationship and eroding trust in that moment.
And we hear that from couples a lot. Like a lot of the couples we work with, there's one partner that lies thinking they're protecting, but you're actually creating so much pain and hurt and suffering, and you're eroding trust in the relationship. Like the truth will always set you free.
So that's been a really hard lesson for me, but this process is so powerful because it will highlight those areas that you really need to focus on, and then you can be empowered because then you then know what you need to work on in order to get the relationship you truly want. Yeah. And a lot of the time, like for us, it doesn't mean ending one relationship to start another. Sometimes it will. But it doesn't always mean you have to get a divorce or break up. Yeah, it just means sometimes you've got to make some shifts, you learn some new things and decide on some new habits that you have to embody to
literally recreate your relationship. Like you can be with the same person but experience a completely different relationship. And we've had this every time we up level. So and we're going through it again. So that's why we want to share it with you. So you know, I'm not perfect, and I really appreciate your appreciation.
And I'm definitely not.
I'm definitely not perfect. There has been things that I've needed to work on, but I started to do these lists before Adam did. So I had already started to get rid of all those things that I knew he wasn't available for. So on Adam's list that he was not available for was he didn't want to be controlled. He didn't want to be criticized, and I did that. Like I definitely did that in our relationship in the past. So I had to get clear that actually that wasn't on what I wanted either. I didn't want to be criticized and controlled. So then if I don't want to be that, then I need to work on dealing with that in me, save myself to be able to save the relationship. So I let go of that pattern. I broke up with that and I stopped doing that in my relationship. And then Adam felt like he was getting everything he wanted because that was on his list of what he didn't want. So it's not just like, this is how you create a win-win. I really want to make that clear. It's not about that your relationship becomes what one of you wants. We show each other these lists and they're in alignment. We want the same things. So by losing being critical and controlling, I benefited. So did the relationship. It wasn't just one way. But this is really powerful. I could share so much more on this, but we won't take up all your time. But just get really clear on what you want in your relationship. That was number one, just to recap. Number two, what you absolutely do not want in your relationship. Like you cannot have any of that happening in your relationship. You won't be happy. It's not in alignment with you. Get clear on that. And then get clear on going through that list and asking yourself, am I being those things I want?
Yeah. Who do I need to become?
Who do you need to become?
In order to have that relationship or that partner that I truly want.
And then the final question is, what are you going to do about it? Because at the moment you're here where you're struggling, you're not communicating, there's no connection, barely any intimacy. It's exhausting, isn't it? Like, let us know in the comments. It's exhausting, it's draining. When your relationship isn't working, it makes kids, work, just being alive 10 times harder. Because like one of our coaches said, Tony Robbins, the quality of your life is the quality of your relationship. So it comes back to your relationship. So you're here and you're wanting to go there, and over there might look like loving, connected, open communication, being able to have tough conversations, feeling free to be yourself. You know, be your true self. You might want that. And it's like, how do you move from here, from struggling and surviving in your relationship to thriving and happy and loving and connected and communicating? How do you get there? So you've got to realize that gap, you need to save yourself. So how are you going to save yourself? You come back to you and you go through this process and you choose one by one, what do I need to focus on? For who do I need to become? And you get help. We got help. Like if you don't know how, you need to ask who. Who has what I want? Who can show me how to do this? You know, we've got a free ebook. All the links are below. Read our ebook. reach out, send us a message, come and join one of our courses, read a book. Like, ask yourself, if you do not know how, ask yourself who.
Yep.
Who has what I want? Who can show me how to do this?
Yep.
And that's how you get there. And yeah, we would love to.
We can definitely help you. So check out the links below, because there's a lot of resources there. Some of them are free, some of them are very affordable, and can give you the support you need right now to move forward and save your relationship and start to feel like you're moving forward and getting what it is that you want in your relationship. So
you can 100% save your relationship, and this is a really powerful first step. So do this practice and then work out how you're going to close that gap. Get the ebook, join our courses, and subscribe if you want more.
Yep. Thanks, guys.